Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to cover translations. Our learning targets for today are I can find the coordinates of a translated figure, and I can use coordinates to translate a figure. Transformations. A transformation is an operation that maps an original figure, which we call the pre-image, onto a new figure, which we call the image. Now in my figure to the left, I have triangle ABC and then triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. That's the triangle with the apostrophe marks. My triangle ABC without the apostrophe marks is the pre-image, and then the image is the one with the apostrophe marks, which we call A prime, B prime, C prime. Now a transformation can change the position, the orientation, or the size of a figure. So the position would be where it's located, orientation would be the direction that it's facing, and then the size would be the overall shape, how big it is or how small it is. Now within transformations, we have certain rigid motions. Now a rigid motion is a transformation that preserves the size and shape of a figure. So it's a transformation that would create all corresponding sides and angles of both the pre-image and image to be congruent. Now we have three types of rigid motions. They are translations, reflections, and rotations. So the first transformation we'll look at are translations. So a translation is a vertical and or horizontal slide of a figure. So I can move the figure either left or right or up or down. Now I have coordinate notation to tell me whether or not to move it left or right or up or down. Now my coordinate notation is my ordered pair xy changes to x plus h and y plus k. Now the h represents my horizontal shift or left or right. So if I add h, I'm going to move to the right. If I subtract h, I'm going to move to the left. Now my k represents the vertical shift. So if I add k, that means I'm going to move up. And if I subtract k, that means I'll move down. So essentially, if I have x plus a number, I'll move to the right. If I have x minus a number, I'll move to the left. If I have y plus a number, I'll move up. And if I have y minus a number, I'll move down. So looking at my first example, I have rectangle QRST with the following vertices. I want to move it x plus 5 and y plus 7. So that tells me I want to pick up my figure, move it to the right 5 and up 7, which is what I'll do. So I'll take QRST, I'll take each point, count 5 spaces to the right, and then 7 spaces up. So if I do that, we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces up. And these are the new coordinates of Q, R, S, and T. So this is T now prime, S prime, R prime, and Q prime. Now listing these coordinates, all I need to do is add 5 to the x coordinate and add 7 to my y coordinate. So Q was -6, -1. -6 plus 5 would be -1. And -1 plus 7 is 6. So my new coordinate is -1, 6. R was -3, 1. -3 plus 5 is 2. And 1 plus 7 is 8. S prime, S was 1, 1 plus 5 is 6, and then -5 plus 7 would give me 2. And T prime, T was -2, -2 plus 5 will give me 3, and then -7 plus 7 will give me 0. So these are my new coordinates of Q prime, S prime, R prime, and T prime. And I can confirm those with my diagram that I translated. Looking at number 2, I have triangle CDE with the following vertices. I want to move it -3 from x, so that means left 3, and y plus 8, so that means up 8. So again, I'll take each coordinate, I'll count left 3 and up 8. So if we do that, 3 to the left and up 8. Now labeling this would be now E prime, D prime, and C prime. My image always gets the prime marks. Again, my new coordinates, I can just subtract 3 from each coordinate and add 8 from each coordinate. So my C prime would move to -1, comma 7. E prime would move to 1, comma 2. And D prime would move to 4, comma 4. Looking at a few more examples, I'm given rhombus JKLM with vertices, and I want to move it x plus 2, so to the right 2, and y minus 2, so down 2. So again, I'll pick up my figure, I'll move it right 2 and down 2. I will label each coordinate with my prime marks. So this is K prime, this is L prime, M prime, and J prime. And then I will list my coordinates. So J prime would be -2, comma 5. L prime would be 1, comma 2. K prime would be 2, comma 6. And M prime would be -3, comma 1. Number 4, I'm given square WXYZ with the following vertices. I want to move it x minus 7, so left 7, and then the y does not change. So I will keep the y. I will not move it up or I will not move it down. So I'm just going to move this figure left 7 spaces. So that's left 7 spaces. Again, I will label all my new coordinates with the prime mark, so y prime, z prime, w prime, and x prime. And then I will make my new coordinates. So w prime is just left 7, so I will subtract 7 from 1, which will give me -6, comma 7. Y prime would be -3, comma 0. X prime would be -1, comma 5. And z prime would be -8, comma. Now, if I'm identifying and writing rules, I can describe translations that match the pre-image to the image in coordinate notation. So remember, coordinate notation was the modification of my ordered pair xy that tells me what the translation is. So if I'm looking at my triangle DEF and I want to map it to triangle D prime, E prime, F prime, all I need to do is count how many spaces I'm moving from one point to the other point because all the points will be the same. So if I look at D, I move so many spaces to the right and so many spaces up. Notice I'm moving 7 spaces right and then 4 spaces up. So my modification of x would be x plus 7 because I'm moving right, and y plus 4 because I'm moving up. Always remember I want to move from the triangle without the prime mark, so my pre-image, to the triangle with the prime marks, so my image. Looking at 16, again, I'm going to move from triangle PMNO to triangle P prime, M prime, N prime, O prime. Now, if I just look at P, I'd move to the left 4 spaces and then up 2 spaces. So if I have my ordered pair x comma y, I make my modification of x minus 4 because I'm moving left 4 and y plus 2 because I'm moving up 2. And these two examples would be how I write my rules to identify how I map my pre-image to my image in coordinate notation. In this lesson we learned a translation is a vertical and or horizontal slide of a figure. If I have x plus, that moves my figure to the right, x minus moves my figure to the left, y plus moves my figure up, and y minus moves my figure down. That's a wrap on this video. We'll see you in the next one.